This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hey everybody, this is Editing Sarah. I just want to let you guys know that this week we weren't able to record a new episode like we were going to. So April's month of movies is going to be delayed again. But instead of just not having an episode, I decided to go through our archives and I found our second episode of Give Me a Bake that we had put together in 2021. We unfortunately haven't been working on that show much, so there's only 10 episodes. So this is episode number 2. So if you guys do like it, let me know. Send us an email, contact us on our socials at Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, and we will do a few more of those episodes. So let us know, and you'll hear some really interesting things on this episode. Basically, if you haven't heard our Give Us the Bake before, basically April sucks at baking and we have her try to bake something and then we talk about how it failed, or we see if she succeeded. Let us know if you'd like to hear more of that kind of content, and enjoy the episode. Hey guys, I'm Sarah, and this is Give Me a Bake podcast, where we find out if my co-host April can bake it. There will be fails, but also some successes. From time to time, we might even talk about our week. So enjoy the show, and don't forget to give me a bake. Hi, everybody!
Hello!
I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Give Me a Bake!
Bakety bake!
Bakety bake! Anyways, I think we're on a sugar high, April.
Yes, we had so many delicious cookies.
Yeah, some more than others.
They were all great.
Well, I think that ours, that the bigger ones that we did, tasted better because it had the salt to it, and I think that made them taste better. I didn't mean that yours were gross and disgusting and we should never eat them and no one should ever have them ever in their lives. I just meant when we added extra stuff.
You could tell that a noob baked my cookies. Like...
Okay, so for everybody this week, what did we do?
We baked chocolate chip cookies.
Yes. Did we do them from scratch?
No, that would have been too much. There would have been so many more places where I could have messed up.
Well, that's why we're working our way up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with the break and bake.
Yes.
And you said that you really wanted bigger cookies. And you said that you had a chocolate chip break and bake fail.
Yes.
Before.
Yes.
And that they didn't get cooked in the middle. And I said, did you roll them? And you said, no.
I said, what is that? That is what I said.
What do you mean? We just broke them off and put them on the plate.
Yeah, we just threw 4 pieces together down. We broke them in giant 4 pieces.
Yes. And that didn't work out quite right.
I mean, we ate around.
Yeah, but you had to waste it.
Well, yeah.
We wasted none.
No.
None of these were wasted.
That is correct.
So what I did, I didn't do 4 cookies. I did 2 squares. So I took 2 squares, mushed them together, and then we decided to add sea salt to them because I had read somewhere to make them fancier. You can add extra stuff. That's why we also did where my sister took some, flattened them out, put stuff in the middle of them, and then put another cookie on top. And it makes like a big, giant stuffed cookie. And I think those actually turned out really good.
They did.
They were way tastier than like the normal break and bake when you just put them in the oven. So I highly suggest anybody who wants to...
My cookies just came out so puny.
They were very tiny. Now, they looked good. They weren't burnt.
No, they were not.
I thought, for my liking, they were a little bit too done. I like them a little bit softer.
I do too. I don't know how to do that.
Well, that's why
until you told me.
Yeah. Because they were perfect when you first got them out of the oven. And
but
we had them
didn't
warm.
Look right.
Well, that's because you wanted them bigger. And they were more square.
They were, so I broke it off, right?
Yeah.
And I plopped them down, and I stuck them in the oven.
Yeah.
And then when the timer went off, I looked at them, and they were really squared. Because, you know, in my mind, they're supposed to flatten out, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So then I put them in for another 2 minutes, and they hadn't really flattened out. But I knew that if I cooked them more, it would just burn.
Yeah.
So I took them out.
So,
they still look like lumps. like mounds. Like
yeah.
They had rounded off from the square, but they weren't circly.
Right. So, like, when my sister makes big batches of cookies, she uses a ice cream scoop. She has, like, these different sizes, and she takes, like, the medium-sized one, so it makes them into little balls, and that's how you do them. So, I think, yeah, we probably could have, like, rounded them ourselves if you want to have those perfectly round cookies. But I think it was successful. We let you do it completely by yourself. Because I was like, we need like a baseline. See where April's baseline baking is at. So, you know, like I didn't move the oven rack, even though I knew it was wrong. I
would have never thought that was wrong. So I guess Susan had baked something here within the last time, so she moved the racks around.
Yeah.
And so she moved one of the racks lower, and I didn't think it was any big deal, but apparently that makes, like, that's a thing.
Yes. Yeah, so some of baking, and, like, even when you're looking at packages, for anybody who is listening to this that is like April that doesn't really understand baking, or maybe, you know, I know a lot of people, they're like, I can't even boil water. This is for you. So you need to read up on just basic baking instructions. So, like, when I was a kid, you know, I was taught where the rack should be when you do that. I was taught you should take out the cookies when you think that they're not quite done yet. That's when you take them out, because when they sit out, they get a little bit harder, and then they're too done. Sometimes. If you get them out when they're perfect, they're like, oh, these look perfect. They're too done. So these are the kind of lessons that we were taught growing up when we were baking that isn't on the package.
My mother has never made us cookies, ever.
Really?
Never. We never, ever made cookies.
What'd she make you? Tamales?
Yeah. No, she never made desserts.
Oh.
Like, the only dessert we would have is, like, the no-bake cheesecake.
Okay.
And she would make, like, cakes or the muffins, but it would come from a box.
Yeah.
Like, we never ever made cookies in our entire lives. We just buy them.
So, shout out to the Arlington Foodies. I'm a member of the group on Facebook. So if you're in Texas, you should look them up. But anyways, I reached out and I said, hey, what are some recipes that we can try that are, you know, like just simple, easy recipes that are really tasty. I wanted something that was simple, easy. And someone had mentioned no-baked cookies. And I was like, I didn't even think of that. That you literally just mix stuff up, put them like you make a cookie, but you don't actually bake them. So some of them are like a peanut butter base. Some of them you put
Ooh, I have a coworker that makes those.
Yeah, they're like haystacks and different stuff like that.
I don't know about that, but I know she makes something peanut butter.
Yeah, it's like there's some that are called haystacks. There are some that are like just brittle, whatever. I didn't even think of that, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Then somebody else told me we could make flan.
I don't like flan.
But it's just like
you
with brown sugar, and you just have to make sure it doesn't burn. And I was like,
that doesn't seem right.
I don't know if that's...
Brown sugar is the coating.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You missed the custard part of the flan.
Yeah, I don't know.
You missed the custard part of the flan.
I didn't miss anything. I was looking at their directions. But, anywho, they gave me a lot of good recipes, so some we're going to try.
So my mother would make flan from a box.
Okay.
So, but like, I don't like fonts. I would never eat it.
Like, I think when I was, like, 4, I have a photo. It's one of my favorite photos of me and my grandma. I actually have kind of a story with it. She was teaching me how to make her chocolate chip cookies.
Uh-huh.
And there's a photo of me, and I'm, like, licking the spoon as I'm, like, on a chair learning how to bake with her. It is my favorite photo of both of us. And I went to a store, and I got it enlarged, and I found, like, a fancy frame, and I gave it to her. She hid that. I still don't know where it is. It is somewhere buried deep inside their house. Like, she took it down and, like, hid it. I think she didn't like the photo of herself. And it kind of upset me a little bit, because I was like, I love this photo. I thought
because you're just looking at you and she's just looking at her.
Well, I was looking at both of us and thinking it was a really cute photo of her and I, because we didn't have a lot of photos of just her and I. Mm-hmm. And I still don't know where it is.
Do you have the original?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Because my parents took it because they were visiting us when we lived in Nebraska. Mm-hmm. So I do have it. But I think this was kind of successful.
I believe so as well.
So next time when we stuffed our cookies, that sounds sturdy. When we stuffed our cookies, you had thought of other stuff that you would want to put inside of a cookie. So we're going to try that next time.
Yes. So
all of our, listeners, all 9 of you.
My imagination is already running.
Yeah, I know you want to do pretzels.
Yes.
I know some people do potato chips with like chocolate chip. No? Okay. But we tried sea salt, so we could always do like a caramel sea salt pretzel sort of situation. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The world is your imagination. You can just come up with whatever.
Oh, I will. I will come up with, I don't even know what.
So, for this week, I had thought of something that we could also discuss besides just the things that annoy us.
Okay.
And I thought of one, it's something that you can brag about that's really stupid. And I had one of those today. And
do tell.
I was oddly proud of myself for something so ridiculous. So I drove into work, and at work we have these spots along the front, and some of them have like only special people are allowed to park there, but they haven't been moving your car if you do park there because the bigwigs aren't coming to our place because of COVID. Mm-hmm. So people just park there, but I still feel weird about it. So I had pulled in, and I was like, no, I don't want to park there. I'm going to move down. So I moved down to where there was an open spot that wasn't marked. And when I moved in, I was like, oh, I don't know if I parked correctly because I like came in at a weird angle. Yeah. And I got out of my car to look. I was perfect. Ooh. I was so perfectly in the middle of the space. My tires were straight, aligned, like everything was perfect. And I was like, I did really well. Like, normally my car's kind of like cockeyed, my tires are askew. I'm a little bit over this way, that way, whatever. And I was like, I am perfect. I didn't go too far up because my bumper hits the curb.
Yeah.
I was like,
excellent.
Perfect. And I was like, that is a weird brag. Mm-hmm. So that is my weird brag of the week. Do you have a weird brag?
No. However, if we're talking about parking, I've had my car now for a little over a year, and it has a camera. Ooh. To reverse park.
Yeah.
And I found that I am parking worse. Like, it's taking me longer using the camera.
Oh. Mm-hmm. You're better at feel than sight.
But I cannot not look at it.
Yeah.
Well, that, and on top of that, is like, I think I want to get it perfect. Mm-hmm. So I keep reversing. Whereas before, I'd be like, I'm in the lines. I'm in my section.
I did it.
So
that's kind of how I was. We went to a Cowboy game, and we were like parallel to the big screen, and it was hard not to watch that. That was in front of our face and gigantic, and watch the field. Because we were up so high that it was like right there, and I kept being like, Sarah, you could watch the game for free at home. Look at the field. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, Like, damn it, look at the field. And I just kept looking at the screen because it's like right in your face. There's,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
They show everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the replays and whatnot. So it's just, it's so easy.
I haven't actually been to a Cowboys game inside.
What?
It's just so many people and so much trouble.
Let me tell you. We sat about, 4 or 5 rows from the top. And
at that point, you might as well just be at the top.
Yeah, so there were people that looked very athletic, that were, probably work out quite a bit, and they were getting, towards their seat, and they're like, and, having to, rest, because it is at, a 90-degree angle. We're like, okay, once we get up here, that's it. If we have to go to the bathroom, I ain't seeing you until after the game, because I'm not coming back up here. It was so incredibly steep, and it's just why? There's no reason. Why is it so steep?
The only time I've been there is when they did the tour for the residents, because everybody complained, and then for the American Idol audition.
I forgot you did that.
So let me tell you what happened with that, okay? Yeah. So I asked for the day off. Mm-hmm. Everybody at work knew that I was going to go audition for American Idol, right? The day before, Michael Jackson died.
Oh.
And I stayed up all night long watching all of the Michael Jackson coverage. And then the next day, I woke up late. So I get to the stadium, and there's already a really long line. And you know how they have, it's a stadium, so they have sections, right?
Yeah.
So they have a bottom section and a top section. Well, the bottom seating and the top seating, and then you're divided into whatever sections you're in. So I was in the top section, second to the last section of people. That's how late I got there. And so I got there maybe around 6:30 or something, and that was late.
Yeah.
So I'm just there waiting, and they're taking sections off and auditioning them, section at a time. And I'm like, dude, this is going to take forever. So I started timing it, and I'm like, dude, they're not going to get to me until 7, 8 at nighttime at this rate. And so I was like, you know what? I'm super tired. I am so tired.
You should have just napped while you were there.
So I was like, I just lived down the street. I'm just going to go home and take a nap. So at about 10:30 that morning, I went home and I took a nap.
Uh-huh.
And I woke up at 4. And I was like, dude, I have plenty of time. I roll up to that joint at 5:30, and the parking lot was deserted. And I was like, oh no. So I park and I go to the window, and I go to the door, and it's locked. So I'm knocking on the window, and a security guard comes, and I'm like, so where's the American Airlines, the American Idol auditions? They're like, oh, that ended hours ago. And I'm like, hours ago? And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And so I left, and that was a Friday. And so Monday, every single person asked me at work. They're like, how did your audition go? How did you do your audition? Or because I hadn't decided if I was going to sing for real or sing terribly so I could have my 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, it just depends how I'm feeling it, right? Yeah. And so they all wanted to know about my audition, and I had to tell them that I slept through it.
No.
I know, it was so sad.
At least if you had slept at the stadium, someone might have woken you up.
Honestly, I feel that after they had auditioned so many people, they were just like, okay, that's it. I honestly don't think they would have even gotten to me.
Now, question, when was that?
Michael Jackson died in 2009.
In 2009.
He died June 27th.
But you were too old to audition.
No, that was the first year that they opened it up to older people.
Because they're not doing it older people anymore. Like, I think you have to be under 27.
I think that's the year that they had opened it up to that age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you 27 then?
I think I was 26 or 25. But they had just opened it up, and they had just opened it up to, like, a larger age bracket, and I made it in that window.
Okay, because I was like, I know how old you are now.
Yes.
And I know what year it is now. And I was like,
no. I made the cut, okay? That was a big deal. That's why everybody was rooting for me, and I slept through it.
No.
It was so sad.
What were you going to sing?
I don't even know.
Michael Jackson.
And you know what? Like, everybody I know knows this story that they had a Mexican American Idol TV show come, and my friend was like, they have a Mexican American Idol audition out in, like, Las Colinas or something. You need to go. So then a few years ago, she made me and her aunt, because her aunt loves singing, and we both auditioned.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think I didn't get chosen because they ask you, like, okay, so why are you auditioning? And I was like, I don't know, they just brought me. I know, I should have come up with and dude, they made sure, we were like the third people up there, the third and the fourth person up there. Yes, like, they were going to make sure that we were not going to miss this.
So, did they say you did well, or?
No, I can't remember. I was like, oh, we'll get back to you. I was like, okay, bye.
Oh.
I know.
So.
I don't even know if I came out on the cuts or what.
So, I'm going to say this, and I'll probably take it out later.
Okay.
But I auditioned for Biggest Loser.
Ooh.
Because it was at the stadium, and I think I was not fat enough.
Oh.
Or, like, not the right kind of fat for them, and so I did not get picked.
I would love to be on that show, because that's what I need.
I know,
I
right?
need somebody to make me lose weight.
Yeah.
Like,
I did not get picked.
I would love, I know this sounds mean, but I would love for somebody to have a bet and be like, oh, I bet she can't lose weight. I bet she could lose weight. Be like, I will gladly be your guinea pig, but I needs to be paid.
I need some payment.
You will pay me, okay? And I will do whatever regimen you want me to do, whatever food you want me to do, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to pay for the personal trainer. You have to pay for, like, my cute workout clothes, you know, because I'm going to send you, like, picture updates or whatever you need to satisfy your bet. But, I mean, I could lose weight. Oh, my God. I saw this TikTok the other day where this girl was like, you ladies need to watch out. Y'all need to watch out, because when I lose weight, I'm going to steal your man and all this and that. And I was like, same. Just you wait.
I know, right? I saw one with a guy, and he was like, could you imagine if I looked good? He was like, I'm already super confident. Just watch out. And I was like, that's me.
See, here's my problem. Like, I always say, oh, you know, if I lost weight, if I had a better body, I would love to wear that. That's such a cute outfit. But then it's like, you know what? I wouldn't. I would not be wearing those hoochie outfits.
Really?
I don't think so.
I already put my ladies on display as is, so I know if I was in shape, watch out.
But now that I'm older and wiser, and I'm what would I be, a Puma or a Cougar age? Puma still, right? I don't have kids.
Yeah, Puma.
But yeah, no, we should lose weight and just be slutty.
Ooh.
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
That'll be great. We should do that.
It should be liberating.
Yeah. We talk a big game.
But here's the problem, right? There's people already our weight that be dressing.
I know, right?
They have the confidence to be wearing these outfits, and I'm like, if only I could be that brave.
Yeah, I say I'm very confident, and then I, like, see these videos, I'm like, I'm not that confident.
Nope. And they look cute, you know?
Like, I'm confident in different ways, but they're like clothing wise. But I've tried to broaden my horizons a little bit more. And I started like, okay, I don't like my arms. I don't like my arms at all. Like, I like to cover them. But lately, I've been wearing more shirts that, like, show my arms. I'm like, people can see them anyways. I don't know what I thought I was accomplishing by wearing cardigans, because you could still see it. Like, you could still see my arms are chubby. And so I was like, screw it. I'm gonna wear shirts where you can see my arms. I don't care.
I see these girls wearing these little crop tops, and I'm like, I don't even have to wear a crop top. I just need to let my shirt right up. If I just keep pulling it, if I stop pulling it down, I'll have an instant crop top.
Oh, right? Goodness.
I need the confidence.
So, April, anything that bugged you this week?
So our fridge is completely full. Of nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, so you have a lot of stuff, but there's nothing there to eat.
Yeah, like Frankie has like a whole watermelon in there.
Ooh, watermelon sugar.
And he has a whole 12-pack of Coke in there.
Ooh.
There's 2 half-gallons of milk that's already expired.
Ooh.
There's water chugs, half full, like, water bottles, because I like to drink cold water, but then I forget that there's already an open one in there. There's just so much stuff in there. And there's no food. There's like 2 Okay, so there's 1 plate that's wrapped in foil paper. I have no idea what's food is in there. But it's been there like all week.
That's scary.
Frankie has like a styrofoam to-go plate from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in there. Like, there's just nothing in my fridge to eat.
I feel ya. That happens sometimes. Where you're just like, what can I make with mustard, a box of baking soda, and chicken fingers?
There's a 2-liter bottle of Fanta orange.
Ooh.
That's half full, so the gas is already gone.
Gross. Yeah, just get rid of it.
But it's not mine, it's Frankie's. He should get rid of it.
True.
And like when you order to-go food or get to-go boxes, they always give you little containers of shit. Yeah. Well, Frankie saves all of those little, like, tiny, like, containers. And one of them flipped over one day, and now I have salsa going down. But I'm not cleaning it. It's not mine. I didn't drop it. So
the war has begun.
Yeah. So then you have to be careful to put shit in there so it doesn't touch the salsa stains. It's so bad.
So I'm going to talk about this more on our other podcast. I don't know if people know this, but we have another podcast.
Yes, we do. Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
But I went swimming on the 4th. And I got incredibly burnt.
And no tan. Where's the tan?
Not yet. But I will talk about that more on there. But the thing that bothered me is when I came back to work and people were like, oh, well, what did you try? Did you put anything on it? No, I just sat in agony for days and was like, oh, well, nothing's gonna work. Yes, Karen, I tried everything. I tried everything. So unsolicited advice is probably my thing of the week. Like, when you see a pregnant woman and she's like, oh, I'm having a bad heartburn, or the baby's kicking, or whatever, and you have your 2 cents you want to put in, she's probably looked it up. She's probably Googled it. She probably knows what to do, or she's, I don't know, going to the store to go get that. So don't put your 2 cents in.
I think a great response would be, what have you tried so far?
Yeah.
And then
that would be better.
You know what? That would be a good suggestion.
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, what have you tried so far? And then you can be like, well, have you considered this? Not, you should try this. Have you considered this? Because there could be a perfectly good reason why they haven't tried that. For example, when you said when she's pregnant, maybe there's certain things she can't take.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's certain things they've advised her not to take. So that would be a good way to put it. Have you considered this? And then they could be like, yes, I can't take that.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't work with me.
Yeah. I hate that. Like, I don't need your weird advice. I don't need you and your 2 cents unless I ask for it, or unless you put it in a question like that. That would have been fine. Mm-hmm. But everybody's like, oh, did you put anything on it? Yes. Yes, I did. And it didn't work. Mm-hmm. I will go through the laundry list of things. So if anybody wants to hear that story, you can tune into our other podcast as well. So April.
Yes.
Are you excited for this venture that we are on?
No.
No?
No, because like right now we're doing easy stuff, and I haven't really quite messed up yet. But like it's coming. It's coming.
So is it more helpful if we help you while you're doing it? Or would you like us to help you after you're doing it? I know we gave you unsolicited advice, so maybe I'm just a big of an asshole as I was talking about. But
so here's the thing. If you want real failures, you have to let me do it the way I would normally do it. That's true. However, if you want to help me, like, okay, so what I like is so far what we've been doing is they've been letting me do it.
Yeah.
And then they do it.
Yeah.
And show me a different way or the proper way to do it. Yeah. So I think that's really helpful. Okay. It's like, let me do my failure and my mess. And then you guys can be like, okay, this is how you could have done it to not mess up and where I, like, mess up.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I think that's what we'll do. Like, I bought some baking mixes so we can make either as is, or we can add extra ingredients, or we can make them into cookies, because a lot of times people just take cookie or boxes of cake mix and make them into cookies. So
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different options we can do. And
I knew was you take that cake mix and you put it in whatever shape you want that to form. You want cupcakes, you put it in the cupcake thing. If you want a pound cake looking cake, you put it in the pound cake looking thing.
Yeah.
So
but we are going to open your eyes to a whole new world. A whole new world. Ooh. And I am excited about our adventures.
Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? Sarah's like, earlier you said some things like, we're going to help you, teach you how to bake. And I was like, I'm fine. I don't need to know how to bake. I've lived these past 40 years and I've survived.
True.
And the way that this world is moving, I will last another 40 years and not ever have to really know.
But you know, it's nice to know, because you never know when something's going to come up that you'd be like, oh, I need to bake cookies for this, or I need to
no, you can buy cookies.
True, but then you won't have to. You can make your own. Super easy.
But why would I do that when I could just buy them? You know what's so funny?
Because it tastes so much better.
What's so funny, okay, is I was talking to my friends the other day. Oh, it was, I don't know, Christine's birthday, one of the kids' birthday, I don't know. But we were all talking, and so I showed up, you know, with my wines, and the conversation went, it's like, oh, next time I'll bring this, or next time I'll bring that. And I was like, ooh, there's this new wine I want to try. I'll bring this. And then there was other people there, and they were like, oh, because she was like, oh, I thought we were all just bringing food. And then Sandra, I think it was Sandra's like, oh, you don't want her to bring food.
No.
And then they just started telling this person.
No.
And I started thinking, I was like, have I ever brought any food to a party? And I was like, if I've ever brought food, I have bought it. I have never made anything.
That's not true. For work parties, you make your rice.
Okay, but here's the difference.
That's really good.
I can make a limited amount of items, and those items I can know how to make.
Yeah.
But anything outside of those 5 to 6 things, it's a no.
But that is so good. That is my favorite thing, and I've asked you to make it on several occasions. So I want people to know I am not an asshole. I do think April can cook certain things. I just don't trust her baking at all.
No.
Like, at all. But on the reverse, I trust myself to bake stuff. I wouldn't trust myself to make anything. Like, don't eat a dinner I've cooked, because it probably isn't great. Like, unless I have made it a whole bunch of times, it's probably not great. Like, I'm very easy breezy with my cooking. I can make grilled cheese sandwiches. I can make French toast. I can make quesadillas. And meat and potatoes. I'm really good at making meat and potatoes. Those, anything in a can, I can cook anything in a can.
Hell yeah.
But anything beyond that, I am not a cook. It's not in me.
I can make 5 to 6 key item
Macaroni and
foods.
cheese, I can make that too.
I know how to make that too. I can make Thanksgiving dinner, not desserts.
Yeah.
I can make like homemade macaroni. That's taken me years to perfect, and every year I add a little bit more. So I got that down.
Yeah, I can do that too. I found a really good recipe, and I enjoy making that. But I mean, I probably could make other stuff if I really tried.
See, my macaroni, it's just intuitive.
Yeah.
Like, there's no recipe that I use. It just feels right.
And well, that's kind of how cooking is. Cooking, you can cook by that. Baking, it's more of a science, and it's more of like, you have to put these ingredients in, and then you can add other stuff. But if you add other stuff, if it's liquidy, it can change the consistency. But if it's like, this or that, so there's a little bit more to play with. But with cooking, it's just more by like gut and feel and smell and all of that.
That doesn't always work out though. But like, in that sense, I feel, here's the thing, when you bake and you fuck that up, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
With cooking, because you're actively cooking it and tasting it, you can continue to add spices and flavors to hopefully bring it back to life.
No, I never aired our Thanksgiving episode. But maybe for this Thanksgiving, I will put up our unheard audio about our Thanksgiving fails and successes, and mostly my failure.
And how I learned how to cook Thanksgiving dinner. That would really be helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was super entertaining, but it just didn't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
And it made the episode like super long, so I cut it, but I still have it.
Bonus.
So we will do that at some point. But anything else you have, April?
No. What are we going to do next week? Are we going to continue the cookie saga?
Yeah, because you wanted to add different stuff in it, so.
And I do want to see what you're talking about with this cake mix as well.
Okay. We'll do that. So look forward to that next time. If you are following along and baking along, you can get your stuff together and make what we've made. This week we bought the Nestle Toll House Break and Bake. We got the Pillsbury Doughboy Oreo cookie Break and Bake. And then we took Reese's Cups, put that in the middle of the Oreo, made like a giant cookie. And then we took a Hershey bar, put it in the middle of the Oreo, and made a Oreo Hershey cookie, and it was really good. And then we took 2 squares of the Nestle Toll House cookies, rolled them up, and then sprinkled sea salt on it, and just kind of like rolled it in there a little bit, and it was really good.
I can attest to that. They were.
So
Sarah's cookies are definitely better than my cookies.
I think it's the salt. I think the salt made it better.
But you also took yours out when the timer went off.
True.
Because mine were browner.
And there is something so if you're doing like a big batch and you're doing multiple batches, the more you do, the quicker the oven will heat it up. Because it's already at temperature, it's, going, and the pans are hot, the kitchen is hot, so it's going to cook it faster. So that's something that you have to look at. And anybody who is not someone who can bake, and you want to be fancy and to have your guests think that you made these cookies, you could do like I did. Take 2 squares, roll them together, and you can add any spice. You could do like cinnamon, you could do sugar, you could do brown sugar, you could do sea salt like we did, you could drizzle caramel, whatever you want to do to elevate them just a little bit, and people will never even know that they were not really homemade.
So you know where I thought you were going with that?
What?
That episode of Clueless. It's like, all you have to do is bake a cookie and then buy cookies and pretend like you baked those cookies.
Yeah.
Because that's what I
honey,
would do.
you baked.
Yes.
She just puts the log.
Yeah.
Folks, that was our very first episode we ever did, was Clueless. And don't judge our Two Chicks Talkin Flicks if you go back and listen to it, because I feel like we're better now.
Of course. We're award-winning now. Number 1 out of Sarah's Closet podcast in the world.
That is so true.
But now
this one,
Take a Bake is second place.
Yeah, right?
We're right up there. 1 and 2, baby.
Whoop, whoop. We're actually doing really well in Romania. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No.
I don't know who's listening to us in Romania, but we're killing it.
Hell yeah, son. Hell yeah.
We're like in the top 16% in Romania, and I was like, what?
We found our peoples.
I feel...
We should find a Romanian movie to do.
Ooh. You know, when I was younger, I watched the movie, it was...
I was thinking Euro Trip.
No, I've never seen it anywhere else, but there was a movie, and it was about the gymnast that they had, that has like famous moves named after Nadia Comaneci. It's a movie, a documentary about her, and she's Romanian, I think.
Ooh.
And I watched as a kid, I was like, oh my God, I was really into gymnastics as a child. And she was one of my favorites. And
we should look into that.
The movie. Yeah, I don't even know what the name is, but I'm sure we could just Google movie about Nadia Comaneci. But, all right, guys. So, April, where can they find us?
You can find us at Give Me a Bake podcast over on the Buzzsprout.
Yeah, you can also, you can find us at Instagram at Give Me the Bake podcast. You can find us on
Audible.
Yeah.
Give Me a Bake podcast.
TikTok. We have our own
Stop. Every time I hear TikTok, I think of that TikTok, you don't stop. Or wake up in the morning
gonna say,
feeling like P. Diddy.
That's like a Gen X millennial line. Like, because I think of TikTok, don't stop, only because it's so newer and it's like in my head. But yes.
I think you don't stop to the hot TikTok, you don't stop. Ooh, I'm gonna sex you up.
So, I guess, guys, until next time, this has been Sarah.
This has been April.
And this is Give Me a Bake
podcast.
Bye.
Toodles.
Thank you for listening to Give Me a Bake podcast. Please send in your baking/cooking fails and triumphs to givemeabakepodcast@gmail.com or at our Instagram at Give Me a Bake Podcast. If you like this episode, please rate, review, and follow. This has been a production by Give Me a Bake Podcast. Our theme song is Trey French by Johnny Boyle. Till next time, bye! This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Girvani. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.